You got the FOMO. Maybe you've had a Coachella fail recently, or were supposed to go there, didn't make it for whatever the reason could have been. We will go ahead and give you that Coachella redo for weekend 2. That is coming up later this morning, so you can go see No Doubt together again and everything else that happened. Allie will break down some of it, I'm sure, with your ADD news right now, and then we get you into the first pair of tickets for our 420 hang with the Dirty Heads. It's a joint venture, and we got those tickets coming up in 5 minutes right here on KROQ. And then later this morning, your Coachella.
If you need to budget your Cella, my suggestion is not even Cella.
Not even Cella. Well, we will give you the chance coming up. But first, your news.
Grab your Adderall. It's time for ADD News. Her wife is probably cheating on her right now.
No, not right now. That was yesterday. All right. Just as cold and flu season ends and allergy season begins, we've got this nice in-between spot where we've got measles. Because measles wanted their moment, too. And measles cases are up. They have officially made an appearance in Los Angeles. Of course, if you have a measles vaccine, you don't have to worry about this. But out of precaution, health officials... What are you laughing at?
This girl's boobs are bouncing on your wife's head.
Okay, all right. Everyone have a good laugh. Do we need a minute?
I'm trying not to just focus. I've watched this video 30 times.
All right.
It is.
Sorry. That is spectacular.
You've laughed at me. Klein's laughed at me. My boss laughed at me
It's
all weekend. Can we
egregious.
move on now?
Sorry. Okay, go ahead. What were you talking about?
Okay, I'm talking about the measles. Different lumps.
All
right. And there is a measles case in L.A. that health officials want to warn you about. They have...
Oh, you notice how this girl is like scissoring Allie's wife's neck?
So much. It's so tight.
I've never seen that. There's another couple who's got someone on the shoulder next to this couple, your wife.
Right.
They're just standing still almost like a totem pole. Mm-hmm. Your wife and this woman, she's basically effing her neck.
Okay. They're just watching bleachers.
They're neck effers.
They're not neck effers.
They're neck effers.
All right. She was doing it because she wanted to enjoy the show. It didn't have anything to do with sexualness.
If either of them had measles, that's a way to transmit it, for sure.
100%.
Regardless of whether or not you have the vaccine. So anyway, this person was in L.A. this month. So this person who had measles. So the health people, they put a whole breakdown of this person's itinerary so you can see, hey, did I go to any of the places that this measles person had?
And they had a great time.
Oh, my God.
Listen to
this
this.
itinerary?
I was so jealous. I thought Omar put this itinerary together.
Yes, I was thinking the same thing.
This person, because they said measles has made its way around L.A., and if you were in any of the following places this weekend, this is where they went. Listen to this. I mean, what a setup they had.
All right. They started at the Sheraton, and they went to the Gateway Hotel gym there. Then they went to a Denny's.
I was at the Sheraton this weekend.
You were?
This is the one in downtown L.A.?
Century Boulevard.
Okay,
in
no,
LA.
this is a different one. Different one, yeah.
So
okay.
Sheraton Gateway Hotel Gym, that's where they start their day.
Yeah,
then they go to
skip
Denny's.
That one. Then they go to Denny's. That's Omar's former stomping ground.
Then they go to Universal Studios.
All right,
Then
now
they
we're
go
talking.
to Buca di Beppo.
Wow.
Then they go to Cletus Chicken Shack in Universal Studios. Then they go to Lard Lad Donuts and a food truck in Universal Studios. Then they go to Jenny's Splendid Ice Creams. And then they go back to Sheraton.
You know what's going to get this person long before the measles is the diabetes. Because
seriously,
that is
wow.
Hey, they went to the gym in the morning.
My biggest fear in life is that I ever get measles and they go over my stops for the day.
Then the Sunday is back to the start of the Sheraton. Then they go to Jack in the Box, the Santa Monica Pier. Then they go to Pier Gear, El Torito Mexican Restaurant, and then back to the hotel. Then Monday, they go to Denny's again.
Yeah, it's
wow.
Yeah, it's really humiliating.
I just want to know who this person is so
Yeah,
bad.
I'd love that. But they detail every place they've been, and they say if you were in any of these places, and you don't have the measles
If you've
vaccine.
been everywhere.
It's very contagious. You probably have it now, accept the fact. But I mean, how humiliating is that to have a full...
But I'm also amazed, like, that's an amazing itinerary as is, but also can be a little embarrassing. The fact that they did all that with measles.
Impressive.
It's
Yeah,
very
totally. Yeah,
impressive.
for sure.
All right, I saw
I
a
know.
lot.
You know what goes great with measles? Moons over my hammy.
I know.
That's what goes
Let's
great.
go donuts and then immediately after get ice cream. So I saw a lot of billboards on my way to Coachella. I never saw that one for free STD checks. If I did, I probably would have told Katie to get one. But in general, I noticed a lot of people upping the bar with billboards. And so then I got home and saw this story that McDonald's is taking their billboard game to the next level. And they are doing scented billboards for the first time. So they have debuted the world's first scented billboard, and it smells like their fries. They place it, it's not on like a big one on the freeway. It's like in a plaza on the ground at nose level. And they have a way of getting the scent of the fries put into the billboard and is diffusing out of the billboard. The billboard is just blank with red background.
That's dangerous.
And they place them strategically within 500 feet of a McDonald's location. So, I think their biggest bargaining chip in general for McDonald's is the smell. I feel like for In-N-Out and for McDonald's, it's the smell that gets you every time. Yeah. So if anyone's going to do a scented billboard, it would make sense it would be them.
Yeah, I stopped cutting. I used to drive a certain way home that I don't do anymore because I would get this. If I was at the light and I would sit there, I would always get the In-N-Out waft to me, and I couldn't fight it. I'd be like,
even if you're not
it.
hungry,
right, I know.
It's crazy.
And if I got,
it's funny.
If I got the smell,
finally did that.
Go ahead, Omar.
I finally did the move that Klein did. I was at an In-N-Out. I was going to a Guitar Center. I had a mission. And there's an In-N-Out by this Guitar Center. And I was pulling in, and I was just like, there's always traffic here. But there was no line at the In-N-Out. And I turned in, and I got me a burger.
Like, Guitar Center can always wait.
No line. That's amazing.
And that's what I was going to say. So if I get the smell, and then I also see there's no line, even if I'm not hungry, even if I've just eaten Jenny's ice cream and Denny's and everything else, I cannot stop myself.
So good.
We get into a brand new hour of the show right now. Let me read you a couple of texts, and then we'll kick off this hour of the show. I'm watching the video of Allie's wife, and I am boned up right now. Boned up.
Thank you so much.
Quite a few people. Allie's wife
move on.
had a stranger dancing on her shoulders at Coachella. The video's been posted. Enjoy it while you can, and you decide if it's cheating. A lot of women saying, if my man did this, it would be game over. So this is a true double standard in the world of lesbianism. Allie's wife has created a new sex position called neffing. She's neffing this girl. I don't know if that's true.
Neffed?
I love
Is neffing cheating?
Neffing is apparently a big rage now. I mean, you got to see this, guys. It is mind-blowing, neck-blowing, everything else. We get into a brand new hour of the show by getting you into a 420 hang with us this weekend. Here we go.
Klein Alley Show.
Hey, guys. Sweet Dibbins. Dong Dong. Love you guys. Great show.
That's the problem.
106.7 KROQ FM in HD Pasadena, Los Angeles, Orange County. This is the world famous KROQ.
All right. Great question on the text line from a listener in the 917. After looking at the woman on Allie's wife's shoulders, my questions are as follows. How can any man be gay, and how can any woman be straight? Great question. I don't know.
I mean, it's crazy, too, the feelings that I'm going through because I'm angry.
But also turned on.
But also I'm like, oh, she's hot. She is hot.
Yeah.
I'm glad that Katie was able to do that.
Someone said and they made a good point, but a stranger sitting on someone else's shoulders and dancing is almost more intimate in a lot of ways than just like having sex.
Yes.
Because it's a long
Even kissing. Like, you have someone's private parts right up against you within inches of your face. And she's grabbing onto her legs.
562. Looks like Allie's wife enjoyed Coachella. All right. Well, there's a lot of great, funny texts coming in. Enjoy it while you can. Video's up for you to enjoy. Hey, how would you like to hang out 420? It's not just us. It's a joint venture with us, the Hulu show High Hopes, produced by Jimmy Kimmel, the inner workings of a legal weed dispensary here in Southern California, and, of course, the Dirty Heads. We got a little hang happening on Saturday at 420 on 420 at a top secret location. And every hour this morning, we kick off the hour by getting you in to our 420 show. So now's the time to call. We will give you the location, but only if you can get through. 800-520-1067. Please be fun so we can all get together on 420 on a Saturday hang.
562, did Allie at least get to smell her neck afterwards?
Oh, my God.
661, since Allie filmed it, is this count as a threesome? You know, that's the other question is I wasn't there and I didn't film this.
Yeah.
So I don't know who even filmed it.
Allie found out about it after the fact.
Because she showed me.
So, yeah, someone said micro cheating is a real thing and you should look it up.
Yeah.
Man, that's wild. You got to read these texts. They're flying in.
Klein Alley Show. KROQ. KROQ. Klein Alley Show.
Broadcasting from the top of a stranger's neck, it's Klein Alley Show on KROQ. We've got your ADD news to get to. Then we kick off a brand new hour of the show. First thing we do is get you into our 420 hang, a joint venture with the Dirty Heads, us, and the new Hulu show High Hopes. We got a big plan for you happening at a secret location on Saturday at 420 on 420. We get you in as we kick off a brand new hour of the show next. But first, what's happening in the world? Here we go. Hold on.
You got it?
Here it is. Right here and right now.
Grab your Adderall. It's time for ADD News. Se habla español.
Hola!
Oh, wait, we don't.
All right, Coachella Weekend 1 is complete. The theme overall, if you care about fashion, was that everything went country. It was basically stagecoach. Everybody was in cowboy boots. Everybody was in corsets. Everyone had cowboy hats with fringe on them, which was very fun, except for the fact that I was being blocked by cowboy hats during every performance.
If you need to budget your Cella, my suggestion is not even Cella.
The other theme seemed to be lingerie.
Yeah,
there were
I
a
saw
lot of people
that.
who were just in underwear.
I love it.
It was great. And
What a
then I was
trend.
just so confused as to what was going to happen at night. And I think the plan for them was I'm going to dress in lingerie or underwear during the day. And then I'm going to hit up the Coachella shop and buy sweatshirts and whatever I need to do to stay warm at night. And that was their system. And it seemed like that worked.
Yeah, so I couldn't believe how many pictures I saw of people that looked like they were going to like Victoria's Secret runway show
yes,
or something.
It was
It
like
was
that.
crazy.
Yeah.
What a year. And then Allie was dressed like a butterfly.
I had on turquoise leggings, but everyone really liked it. And I was in a child's cape.
The sequel to The Very Hungry Caterpillar was at Coachella.
Quick recap of the guest appearances that happened over the weekend. Friday, you had Shakira showing up. Then you had Billie Eilish joining Lana Del Rey. Jack Antonoff showed up to play with her as well. Then on Saturday, you had Paris Hilton doing an appearance with Vampire Weekend. I got to catch that. Will Smith sang Men in Black with J Balvin, which I missed. A$AP Rocky and Childish Gambino showed up to play during Tyler, the Creator set. And then, of course, you had Olivia Rodrigo coming on with No Doubt, which I felt was very unnecessary, kind of ruined the song for me. But, of course, they do it for the headlines. Everyone is watching every show going, who's about to walk out?
And the biggest headline of all, Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce were there, swooning,
when I was
holding each
watching
other.
Lana Del Rey, the people that I was next to, all they were doing was not even filming the show. They were filming the emergency exit because they wanted to know if Taylor Swift was going to walk out of it
What
at
a
some
shame.
point, if she was
What a
going to
shame.
go on at some point. I mean, it was insane. But then also I caught Grimes, and I had never seen Grimes before. And then I see this big headline that she's apologized to everybody because it was one of the worst sets in Coachella history. And I was like, I thought it was great.
She did that move where she
I
blamed
had no
it.
idea anything went wrong.
She said basically that usually I make sure I do everything personally to make sure it's done right. And for the first time in my entire career, I let other people handle it, and now nothing is right.
Yeah, there were songs that had to be restarted. Right. There were like transitions that weren't happening. I was just distracted. There was a giant robot spider that was crawling across the stage the whole time.
Yeah.
So for me, that was enough. I
Great
was like, this is
distraction.
cool.
Yeah, I don't think anyone would have noticed. I know, like,
I really don't.
artists take it very seriously because that's their art quote, but I just feel like in general, if you got a giant robotic spider crawling across the stage,
Well,
just
and
hit
she had like a
buttons.
weird fox head on. Like,
Yeah.
there's so much going on. I don't know what's
No one
supposed
would
to be
know.
there and what's not. All right, last year, the top selling car in the state of California was the Tesla Model 3. Teslas were all over the place. They were churning them out like crazy. People were buying them. And this year, sales are down for the first time in a long time. And they're reacting very aggressively. Today, we're learning that Tesla is firing 10% of their workforce, which turns out to be 14,000 people.
Wow.
So I guess I really have mushed Tesla.
Yeah, good job, Allie.
Yeah.
You've done it.
If a Disney character falls on you and you get injured,
Does that happen
are
to
you
your wife, or?
and no one is there to see it? Does it make a sound?
This is
Are
the
you
Goofy
entitled to
story?
money? Yeah. So this woman is suing Disney because she went to Disneyland. She was at Disneyland California Adventure in 2022 with her daughter, and she was bending over to tie her daughter's shoes, and Goofy walked directly into her and fell on her with his entire body weight.
That's Goofy.
Causing her to fall on the hard cement, and now she claims that she has traumatic, debilitating, and permanent injuries that necessitate significant medical care, and she's seeking compensation.
I'm going to assume she was right in the middle of the walkway, which is the worst place to stop and tie a shoe. And it's Goofy. Goofy's supposed to do goofy things like fall over people.
And if you think about one of the costumes that probably has the lowest visibility rate.
Yeah, but they have handlers usually.
I know,
They're
but you have a giant nose in front of you. There's a lot of
I know.
things
It's
that.
my story of my life. I should have handlers
Why
for me.
have you not fallen over a child?
I trip over people 3 times a day because of this nose. I
Trips
used
over
to.
his nose.
Yeah, trips over that. There's a child that owns my nose. Oh, thank God.
Is that what all your lawsuits have been about?
Every lawsuit has to do with that.
Oh, man.
We kick off a brand new hour of the show after this song, and when we do, We immediately get you into our 420 hang on Saturday with the Dirty Heads, a joint venture, Klein Alley Show, High Hopes on Hulu, and the Dirty Heads. Your way in after this.
Klein Alley Show.
The world famous KROQ.
KROQ.
KROQ. Klein Alley Show, 5 minutes away from getting you into the 420 Secret Show with the Dirty Heads. 420 on 420. It's a joint venture, KROQ, Klein Alley Show, Hulu's High Hopes, brand new show, and the Dirty Heads. We'll get you in 5 minutes, but first, what's happening in the world? Let's learn together.
Grab your Adderall. It's time for ADD News. And now, here she is, Barbara Walrus.
I feel so good about myself. I actually left Coachella kind of feeling good about myself, and now I feel terrible, but also weirdly good at the same time.
Yeah. That's exciting.
All right, let's take a break from talking about all of the guest appearances at Coachella and instead talk about the big TV guest appearance that happened over the weekend. Caitlin Clark is one of the buzziest athletes in the world right now. And on SNL, they have made many jokes about women's sports, specifically on Weekend Update over the years. So Caitlin Clark made an appearance on Weekend Update to call out Michael Che on all the jokes he's told and then make him read some of the jokes that, quote, she wrote. Take a listen.
You make a lot of jokes about women's sports, don't you, Michael?
I wouldn't say a lot, but, you know. Bars around the country.
So this is an example of one of the jokes that he's told.
Are promising to only show women's basketball games during March Madness. The bars are known collectively as the empty ones.
That's a good joke. That's
So now this is one of the jokes that Caitlin Clark made Michael Che read.
I did write some jokes, and it would mean a lot to me if you read some of them.
The Indiana Fever have the first pick in this Monday's draft. A reminder that Indiana Fever is a WNBA team and not what Michael Che gave to dozens of women at Purdue University.
So it was a good moment. I think it was a successful appearance. You can tell she's reading and she's not super comfortable with performing, but I think she did a great job.
They did have a joke. I don't really watch SNL, but earlier this season where he said, the women's March Madness set a record by having 14.5 million viewers, which is up from last year's numbers by exactly 14.5 million viewers.
Yeah.
And he's not like,
funny.
but it's funny because it's not wrong. Like, there's just not, those games, look, you need, every once in a while, certain players that will revolutionize or reinvigorate an entire sport.
But I was listening to a whole thing that they were trying to make the sport a little bit more competitive anyway. Like, even before Caitlin Clark came along, they were trying to get them to be a little more action heavy and just kind of up the ante a little bit to make the games more exciting. So they have been trying, and I think Caitlin Clark is kind of like a byproduct of that. All right, O.J. Simpson is officially being cremated. There was a lot of question over what was going to happen because at least on one occasion, people have called saying, hey, I'm a CTE, a person who studies CTE, and I would like O.J. Simpson's brain so that you can send it to me and I can study it and see if he has CTE. And I guess the attorney said that's a hard no and that they will not be doing that, and instead they'll be cremating his body. But the other weird thing that happened after he died was that there was a mass recall of Ford Broncos. And that was so strange because everyone was talking about the Ford Bronco and the police chase and all that stuff. And then I've never hear about any of this stuff. And suddenly thousands of Ford Broncos are being recalled. It was kind of creepy.
Unrelated, though. Just happened, the timing.
No, it was just a coincidence.
Yeah,
it was a coincidence with his death.
I just read an article that since the death of OJ and talking about how the prices of everything have skyrocketed, the guys that currently own the Bronco from the chase are now looking to sell it again. Right now.
They are?
Yeah,
Wait,
right,
so
right.
But it's in like a crime museum right now.
Yes, but it's still owned by some people, and they want to sell it for, I think $1.5 or $2 million.
I feel like it'll go for more than that.
Well, that they're saying right now is the time, right? So
well, yeah, they bought it, and then they're probably like, let's wait till he dies, and then when he dies, we're going to sell it again, and now that time has come. All right, when you go on a vacation, a lot of people are starting to plan their summer vacations. Are you a fly guy or a road trip guy? Because they just did a study, and they figured out what America prefers. I know Omar's a road trip guy. I think you're more
I
of
love
a
me some
fly.
road trips. Yeah.
Listen. If it can be a convenient air travel, which is rare, that's like going
It's
to
non-existent,
right?
man.
But
Doesn't exist.
It would be like going out of Burbank. For it to be worth it, it's got to be nonstop flight out of Burbank,
as convenient as possible.
Yeah, 11 a.m. departure.
Drop me off at my gate.
Anything outside of that is not worth it. I feel like everything else is such a mess.
Well, and there's
SPD. I love San Bernardino Airport as well.
That's true.
It's
that is
convenient
a
way
very
to travel.
Smaller, more convenient airport as well. But I wonder if these numbers are skewed by all the airplane problems that have been happening too, because it says 73% of Americans now prefer traveling by car for vacations over flying.
You think that, and then as soon as you hit some traffic or kid has to go to the bathroom,
try going to Texas.
Or do what Jake did, where you get run off the road by an 18-wheeler.
No, but you guys are doing it wrong, man. Most people know how to do it.
Right.
Most people are not road tripping in L.A. or driving through Texas. That drive sucks.
I had a big plan one time to take a road trip to Voodoo Donuts in Orlando. I think they had the first one. Now they have one at Universal, so it's not that. You don't
There's
have to go
one
that
in
far.
Portland that I visited.
That's where I went.
I had a whole
It's
plan.
great. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
But that was my end goal, was to get there. And then I realized, how sad is this trip? That the only thing I have planned.
No, it's not sad. It's awesome.
But I didn't have any.
Well,
The donuts were so good.
I told other people about it, and they said, "But are you visiting family there?" And I go, "No, I'm just visiting the donut
What's
shop."
funny is that my wedding was in Portland, and you missed that.
Yeah,
but you did not.
And
miss
you went to the
going
donut
Portland
shop
to get donuts.
I went the week after and the week before Allie's wedding. I love those donuts.
Klein Alley Show.